Thank you for listening to the Following Films podcast. Today I'm joined by Austin Zajur, Nicholas Cirillo, Reed Northrup, and Siena Agudong. I had them on the show today to talk about their collaboration on Kevin Smith's latest film, The 4:30 Movie. The film marks Smith's most personal film to date. It's set in the summer of 1986 and follows three 16-year-old friends who spend their Saturdays sneaking into movies at the local cineplex. When one of the guys invites the girl of his dreams to see an R-rated film, all hilarity breaks loose as a self-important theater manager and teen rivalries interfere with his best-laid plans. Justin Long, Rosario Dawson, Jason Biggs, and more combine outrageous characters to this poignant comic valentine to moviegoing and the youth of the 80s. The film will be in theaters this Friday, September 13th, and I had a great time watching the film and a great time chatting with the cast. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks. Really genuinely surprised by how much I love this movie because it was funny as hell and I expected that, but it had this huge heart at the center of it. And that was the thing I was surprised by. And to hear delivery of the line, "I just want to watch movies with you," literally made me cry at the end of this movie. And I was not expecting a movie with the particular form of bathroom humor that this has, like a literal moment with you, Reed, that happens here. I didn't expect that movie to get me, but it absolutely worked. And so I'm wondering if you guys could talk a little bit about balancing that raunchy side of this movie with the heart, which I think is absolutely essential for this thing to work. So I guess, Austin, starting with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely that classic Kevin Smith kind of dialogue and kind of humor, but there is a lot of like just coming of age, truthful, grounded realism in this film. And I mean, personally, I really wanted to kind of layer the performance just with kind of notes of everything that I feel Kevin is from what I know. Like he's a crier. He is such a empathetic human being, and he's also raunchy as hell and says crazy shit, and he's witty. And I just wanted to do my best to try to represent what I thought like him young would kind of be like. And yeah, that for me at least, yeah, I don't know.
But no, absolutely. And you mentioned, you're all playing sort of avatars for people that exist in the real world. And I think that you could go into this film knowing that or not knowing it. And I think you're fine either way. I don't think you need to know all of the inside jokes that are in this thing for it to work. My wife didn't know anything about this world going into it. She had no idea who Ernie was or any of these people that are real characters that are being portrayed here. But she absolutely appreciated the film. So Siena, could you talk a little bit about bringing the heart and humanity? Because you really do you kind of have the soul of this film on your shoulders.
Whoa, thank you. Yeah, I think I totally agree with what you say about, you don't have to know that it's based off of some character, of some people in real life. But I will say as an actor, it definitely helped knowing that. And I learned that on set. But it made a lot of sense because I think it just goes for everybody, Nick, Reed, Austin, like the way that Kevin wrote our characters, they're just very human, and it makes sense because they are real people. And I think between Austin and I, because we were written with so much heart, it was so easy to just take those words off screen. And there's raunchy humor, but then it's like innocent love with young teens. I think that's just such a beautiful contrast. But it's easy when the words are there, and then you have someone like Austin to work against.
Oh, well, there's beautiful words in it, but there is performances that are carrying a lot of the heavy lifting here as well. This is, it's wonderfully written. I really love the way the film looks. It takes me back to my childhood. I'm not that far off from this. I'm 48 years old. So that this is literally a mirror of my childhood. But I really think that, my 14-year-old could watch this and get a lot out of this film, because I think that this is probably how him and his friends talk when I'm not around. These are the jokes. I'm sure this is exactly how they talk when I'm not around. It's how I talked. So I know it's far more accurate than a lot of teen films that are made. And Reed, you have something really tough here in this film where you have the balance of the most disgusting moment in the film and one of the more heartfelt moments in the film, where you actually are the person who gives a voice to, kind of can see through all the bullshit here. And you have that probably the biggest swing in a character where you have to be the most absurd and the most serious in the film. Can you talk a little bit about that balance?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, as an actor, that's like such a great challenge to get to play. So I was just really excited to tackle it. And I also just think, not to be all hippy dippy on you here, but I mean, I feel like that is like what we are as people. Like we constantly sort of vacillate between being like at our best, our most like vulnerable and earnest, and then sometimes at our worst, our most like raunchy and vile. And I think all of these things sort of exist on a spectrum of like just being human. And I feel like that's what this movie does so well. And a lot of these characters and moments is, yeah, like you said, yeah, we kind of go back and forth between like raunchy potty humor and then like some of the sweetest moments I have seen in recent memory on screen. So it was a great challenge and a great privilege to get to tackle that.
Yeah, it's my favorite kinds of films that kind of, they're not just one singular thing, that they play in multiple areas. So, and Nick, you have a really, I think probably one of the most jarring roles to play here. You have to play the most lovable and obnoxious character at the same time in the film, and it's hard to pull that off. I think if you dialed it up like even an inch more, it would be to the point that it could almost go into caricature, but that you do feel the heart of this character throughout the whole thing. And talk about that idea of just getting it that close and playing so broad and big, but still keeping humanity in the character.
It's just my immaturity as an actor, I suppose. And just getting lucky that I didn't go too far. It was definitely a character that allowed some room for broad strokes. And that which I took some liberty having fun in, but my wonderful castmates, they kind of created the boundaries to act within. It was very much energy wise, it was very easy to go into the point where they as characters would administer some sort of energy back to where it's like, okay, almost like a check, and that as if it was just a real friendship that you were with, interacting in. So I would give the credit to them.
How much time, because you touched on that, Nick, the idea of this friendship that you would be in to actually get this bond, how long did you guys have in prep for this to get that? Because these three characters, these three friends feel really authentic. I mean, it's just right from the jump. You feel like this is a lived in world.
Well, we got to hanging out as soon as we got there. And,
we started filming right away, right?
Yeah, we did.
Maybe we had one night.
Literally, yes. One night.
I think it was just cast really well. And it just kind of like a serendipitous kind of thing where it's super rare. I mean, we've all been on sets and it doesn't really happen all the time where there's just natural chemistry like this. So it was really, really a lucky occurrence.
Well, it's really hard to pull off character dynamics that work with two people. You get a couple right, and then you have to have that, and you essentially have like these two relationships that have to be cast really well, where you have to have the friendship group that all works together. Then you have to have, the love story side of this, where you have to have the other part. And there's these two films that you go back and forth in between. And there's a consistency in you, Austin, that you feel authentic in both of those worlds. Even though you are showing more of a different side when you're around your friends, you're showing the more, I guess you're allowed to be a little bit more obnoxious. You can be more, you can put your comedy foot forward. You can say profane things. But then when you're with, Siena, you're able to show your vulnerability with that. And just, it's a really tough thing to pull that off and have both sides of that believable. And I think that did a great job with that.
Oh, thank you so much. I was really trying to make that kind of be seen. So I really appreciate you saying that.
And Siena, could you talk about the same thing, the idea of keeping up your end of that film, because it kind of goes away for these long periods of time. You kind of have to have that idea in the back of your mind that this is the thing, it's your relationship, the two of you, that he's trying to get to throughout this long day.
I think at least for Melody, there's like I have no idea of the chaos that is going on. So I've kind of remained consistent, and my one goal is just to go to this date and to have this conversation with him eventually. But I think she just goes in with an open mind, and that's kind of why it feels so innocent, at least on my end of things. And then met with Austin's earnesty in his performance and also just his character. Him being authentic himself is kind of what allows Melody to sort of sit down in that as well and enjoy the night. And obviously it goes awry without spoiling anything, but I think that is sort of, it's just the honesty between both characters.
Well, it's tough to pull off a character that could walk into that chaos and see what has happened that day, and to have somebody that would be believable that, yeah, I'm going to still hang out with this guy. If you actually sell that, like any person that had any sense would be like, oh, fuck this, I'm gone, I'm out. But you still sell that, and it's believable that you would be there because of the performance. So at least in my experience, yeah, I don't think me and my wife would have worked out if that would have been our first date. So.
Well, thank you.
But I know we're out of time, but I just want to thank you all for taking the time to do this. I genuinely love the film. Congratulations. This was a really just a special movie, the kind of thing that, it's something that works for nostalgia, but I think you'll also find something that could work for, a 14-year-old. And it's really rare that you can have 14 to 50, kind of cover that whole basis there. So congratulations on the film. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For talking with us.
Nick has something he wants to say really quick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, listen, this upcoming Friday, Friday, September the 13th. Okay, we have a double feature for you at your local cinema at participating locations where 4:30 is being shown.
AMC's, Regals, you name it.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you paying for one ticket and seeing one movie? Not in this economy. Not in this economy.
No way, it's crazy. A movie about theater hopping?
You're gonna pay your honest money for 4:30 because we're an independent film and we need it. Okay. But then what you're gonna do is you're gonna enjoy that movie. It's a quick shot, it's a quick movie. What are we talking, guys? An hour 10, hour 15 minutes?
15, hour 15.
It's lean and mean. It's lean and mean. It's to get you in the vibe. Whoa, now we're back in the 80s. Now we're feeling nostalgic. Let's pick up, let's go see Beetlejuice. Let's sneak on in, just like those characters we just watched. So go enjoy that double feature because, like I said, at participating locations, if you buy a ticket to the 4:30 movie, we are working in conjunction with the Beetlejuice folks over at Warner Brothers. We love them, and that's a 2-for-1 BOGO, as I like to say.
Yeah. So just don't say anything once you exit the 4:30 movie, and then go into Beetlejuice. Just go straight in, and you're good to go.
It's just buy the ticket for 4:30 movie though is the key to this.
Yeah,
that's the key.
You do not get the BOGO if you do not buy the 4:30 ticket.
That's
correct.
That's the most important part.
And then by 6:00, you're going to be ready for Beetlejuice. The sun's down. Boom. It's a perfect time to be in there. It's the perfect appetizer.
Here's the thing. Here's what we're pitching here. Okay, we're pitching something very simple. 4:20, you're lighting up. We're smoking up. We're getting in the zone. 4:30, we're watching 4:30. Okay, we're getting out of there around what 5:45, 6:00. Like I said,
6:00.
Now we're sneaking. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get a
little bathroom break in,
quick burrito. Maybe we take a little number 1 and number 2. It's up to you. And then we sneak on into Beetlejuice. Come on, what's a better night? What's a better night?
30 double juice. 4:30 double juice.
Love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And yes, AMC Regal is sponsoring this event. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you.
I hope I get at least a free damn ticket out of this. I'll pay that much.
It's rare that I do this. After I've seen the movie already, I will buy one of those double feature tickets this Friday.
Let's rock and roll. All righty.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take it easy.